Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, in the last period we have discussed different topics of Holy Quran, like introduction of Holy Quran, methods of revelation, and in the last period we have done need of prophets for revelation. Why Allah chose these prophets for sending revelation, for conveying His message. Our today's topic is nature of prophethood from the holy prophet's first experience of revelation. Actually, this is short question. It means for 4 mark questions, and this question is also from past papers. Now this question is solved here, so we are to understand this question and we are to understand the answer of this question. The theme of this question is, you have studied the event of first revelation. What happened there? You know very well about that event when Holy Prophet's age was 40 years and he was meditating and worshipping there, and suddenly Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam came and he gave the revelation of Surah Al-Alaq, first 5 verses. So they are saying, examiners are asking that we have studied that event. From that event, which type of prophethood is mentioned? Which type of prophethood you can understand from that event? What is the nature of prophethood? What is the method of prophethood? So we have to understand this question and answer. So in answer, we have some points. First point is decision without any pre-information. We know very well that Holy Prophet was meditating and he was worshipping according to his own routine. And suddenly Hazrat Jibreel came and he brought the revelation. So this thing shows that if Allah wants to give prophethood to any person, there is no need to inform him before time. There is no need to warn him. There is no need to announce about that thing that I'm going to give you prophethood. No. This is very sudden. Without any information, pre-information, Allah can give this prophethood to anyone. That is why when Holy Prophet got prophethood, he was shocked and he was confused due to sudden appearance of Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam. So this shows prophethood can be given without any pre-information. This is the nature of prophethood. Our next point is selection of prophets. That prophethood is Wahabi. Wahabi means God gift. Allah chooses prophets. Allah chooses people to whom He gives prophethood. This is not the thing that you can earn and you can achieve by your struggle, by your maximum effort, by your maximum worship. No. This is the different and unique thing. This is not an institution that can be attained through penance and prayers, through struggle and prayers, worship. No. It's really gift. And Allah gives this prophethood to whom He wills, according to the will of Allah. Allahu yastafi. Allah chooses. It means this is the selection of Allah. This is the choice of Allah. This is not the choice of any person. That's why Allah said in the Holy Quran, He does send down His angels with inspiration. It means Allah is sending His message through different angels of his command to such of his servants as he pleases. It means Allah is sending the order, sending the message through different angels, especially by Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam, and he's conveying the message of Allah towards that person, toward that toward that servant, as he pleases, as Allah pleases. If Allah pleases that this person should be given the prophethood, this person should be given the message of Allah, this person should be given this responsibility, so Allah is choosing himself. So this is the nature of prophethood, that this selection is only dependent over the choice of Allah, over the selection of Allah. Third point, no age limit. This is nature of prophethood, that because Allah is choosing for this responsibility, for this designation, so Allah can choose any person at any time, at any age. There is no any age limit. There is no any specific age. For this age, this is the compulsory thing. So then Allah will choose no age limit. As mostly prophets, they were given prophethood at the age of 40. Reason? Because 40-year age, this is the age of peak maturity. The person is becoming mature. That's why at the age of maturity, Allah is choosing the person for prophethood. But we have some different informations as well. As Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, he was given the prophethood when he was only 1 or 2 days old. He was the baby of 2 days or 1 day old. At that time, he was given the prophethood. That's why in the lap of his mother, he announced about his prophethood. So this is showed for this thing, for prophethood, there is no age limit. This is a nature of prophethood. No, not easy receiving. This prophethood is not easy to receive. This is not easy to get the message of Allah. That's why when Jibreel Islam told him, Iqra, to read, for 3 times, Holy Prophet replied, Ma ana biqari, I am unable to read. And then 3 times he squeezed Prophet. He hugged Prophet very strongly. It means in this hugging, Hazrat Jibreel was transferring the light of Allah in the heart of the Prophet, so that he should be able to bear the burden, he should be able to bear the burden of revelation. That's why he was squeezing and he was hugging the Prophet for 3 times. So this thing shows that prophethood, getting message of Allah, this is not easy. This is very tough. That's why after this getting revelation, Holy Prophet became very upset and he was sweating due to this tension, this problem. It's not easy to bear. And the last point, this is a demand of examiners in mark scheme. You can compare this experience with any other experience. So I have given the example of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam demanded, oh Allah, I want to see you. Allah said, you are unable to see. You have no capacity, you have no ability, no power. Hazrat Musa requested, I will try to bear, because this is my desire to see you. So Allah said, so I will send my reflection over that mountain, and if you are able to see that reflection, so then you will be able to see me directly. So Allah sent reflection over the mount of Tur. So then what happened? This mount was burnt, became black, and Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, when he saw that reflection, which was beyond the capacity of a Musa alayhi salam, he became fainted and he fell on the ground. So this thing is mentioned as that was not easy to bear. Reflection. And similarly, this conversation, this revelation, because revelation actually this is a conversation of Allah. This is not easy to bear. Our reflection of Allah was not easy to bear. In the same way, conversation is also not easy to bear. Now, this thing is mentioned here. The Quran says, when his Lord manifested his glory on the mount, he made it as dust. He rendered apart this mount, and Musa fell unconscious. He became unconscious. So this thing shows this prophethood is not easy to bear. An example is also given like Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. He also became fainted in the same way when Holy Prophet got revelation. He also became very upset and he was trembling with fear and he was sweating. This is a question from 4 marks, so we can reduce the length. We can choose some points according to our own capacity. Next topic is characteristics of Holy Quran. This is very easy question. I will teach it very fast so that there should be no wastage of time. First point, preservation. You know very well about the Holy Quran. Allah Himself has taken the guarantee, taken the responsibility for the preservation of Holy Quran. As this verse, we know very well. Indeed, we have sent down this Quran and we must surely are its guardians. So this is the distinguishing quality of the Holy Quran. Next is universal book. That Holy Quran, this book is not only for a specific nation, not for a specific area. No, this is the guidance for whole mankind, as Allah said in the Holy Quran. The month of Ramadan, in which was revealed the Quran, guidance for whole mankind. Everlasting book. This book is the guidance not only for a specific time. There is no time limit. But this guidance is for whole the mankind until the day of judgment, till the last person who will come in this world. So this is the quality that it means this is the everlasting book. This is the book forever. And the teaching of Holy Quran can be applied all the time, in all the conditions, in all the requirements. Next is complete code of life. You know very well, other books were having guidance, but specific guidance. Because these books were for specific time. So that's why rules were specific, guidance was specific, instructions were specific, limited. But Quran, because this is for the whole mankind, that's why this is a complete code of life. There are orders, instructions, stories, rules, all these are mentioned here. That is why the Quran have given the guidance in every field of life. Complete code of life. Matchless book. No one can match. No one can produce such kind of book. Impressive, attractive, comprehensive, as Allah has given the challenge. If you say that this person, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is making this book by his own, so you are also the person. You are to produce. First, Allah gave the challenge to produce, to make a book. Then challenge was reduced to make 10 surah. Then challenge was more reduced, only 1 surah. And even Allah said, فَلْيَأْتُوا بِحَدِيثٍ مِثْلِي. Even a single sentence. If you blame and if you claim that this is not the God conversation, this is the man-made conversation, so you are to produce